morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Happy Monday morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world today. My name is Carly, for anyone I haven't met, and I'm happy to be here with you this morning to lead you through your Rise and Shine yoga practice. So if you haven't already, just make your way into a comfortable seated position. You might choose to elevate your hips with a block, a pillow, rolled up towel, or blanket, even a cushion. Sometimes elongating or lifting up through the hips can really help to elongate through your spine. And it kind of helps to relieve some of that pressure. I find that sometimes when I'm trying to sit for a long time, I start to slump forward, but whenever my hips are elevated, it just gives a natural lift through your torso. It helps to make it easier to draw the navel in towards my spine. I notice that when I elevate my hips, naturally my shoulders tend to fall up, back, and down, lifting through my heart and opening through my chest. So if this sounds like a good option for you, feel free to jump up and grab something, or you're welcome to stay just as you are. Just beginning here to establish a connection to your breath. Just begin by noticing that it's there with you this morning. Maybe you haven't yet connected to your breath this morning, so just take a moment here and do so. Make any adjustments that you might need in your body this morning, just to come into stillness. It might take you a bit to get there, that's okay. Allow for those wiggles, allow for those tiny movements, whatever adjustments that you need. When you're able to begin to fall into stillness, begin to notice that your breath is there, gradually beginning to deepen your inhales and exhales. You might follow your inhale with your mind's eye like a beam of light as it enters your body on your inhale, traveling through your chest, your belly, your lungs. And on your exhale, rolling like a wave as you exhale fully all the way to your root, squeezing out all of the air by contracting your diaphragm and lifting your pelvic floor, engaging your Mula Bandha or root lock. I would encourage you to just do your best to try to keep this bandha engaged throughout your practice today, allowing for all of this beautiful energy that you create throughout your practice to stay within your body and float up towards your crown rather than flowing out. Activating and engaging through the Mula Bandha helps to ground and stabilize you throughout your practice. You may wish to engage your Ujjayi breath for your practice this morning. Ujjayi breath, also known as ocean breath, sounds a lot like Darth Vader's breathing. So you might try to practice your Ujjayi breath by just restricting the back of your throat, opening up your mouth here and taking a few breaths, noticing what that's like. Notice what it feels like to have the back of your throat restricted. Notice the audible sound that it makes. When you feel comfortable closing down your mouth and continuing this breath in and out through your nose. Ujjayi breath increases the amount of oxygen in the blood, builds internal body heat, and regulates blood pressure. So let this serve as your reminder that this is your practice today. Obviously, I'm not there with you, so please honor and respect where you're at within your body. Take breaks when needed, of course, Allow for your body to rest. Finding your appropriate edge today. So the space where you meet a little bit of resistance, but there isn't any pinching, there's no pain, it's tolerable, and you're able to breathe. Listen to your body and let it guide you today. So if you like, you're welcome to open your eyes now, or of course keep them closed. Allow for your hands to fall to the mat. Inhale, reach your fingertips through center. Draw your palms to touch and exhale, and lowering your hands to your sternum. Lift your sternum to meet your thumbs. Notice if this pulls your shoulders away from your ears just a little bit. Sit up tall. Crown is forward, crown is lifted, gaze is forward. Soften through your face, release any tension through your jaw. Take a moment to set an intention for your practice today. Drawing your thumbs to touch your third eye center and your forehead. Bowing towards your heart. Namaste. Returning up through center, hands fall to your sides. Inhale to reach your fingertips overhead. Clasp your fingertips, flip your palms towards the sky. Reach and extend through your side body. Draw your weight into your sits bones. So think of a balance of opposites here as you firmly root your sits bones and hips into the earth. You're stretching, expanding through your hands, pressing your palms towards the sky, while at the same time relaxing your shoulders away from your ears. So just notice everything that's going on here. Connect to your breath. Working out the kinks from a long night's sleep, just begin to gently rock from side to side. Find a little bit of movement that feels good in your body. Come up through center. Release your fingertips, grab onto your left wrist with your right hand, and begin to stretch over to the right. Sink weight into your left hip, your left knee, while pulling up and away on your left wrist, creating space through your left side body. Return through center, grabbing onto your right wrist and beginning to stretch over to the left side. Return through center. Once again, interlace those fingertips, flip your palms towards the sky. If it's comfortable for your neck, you might take a gaze up towards your fingers. Release your fingertips, allow for them to fall behind your back. Once again, interlace those fingertips if that's comfortable. Otherwise, you might just draw your palms together, sort of creating airplane arms here, with your palms facing in towards one another. You might create a little bit of a square with your hands, or if flexibility allows this morning, maybe drawing the palms of your hands to touch as you open your shoulders together and expand your heart forward. Wherever you are, make sure you're breathing. Opening your heart space this morning. Again, check in with your neck. If it's comfortable, you might take a gaze up. Check in with your hips. Return your gaze through center and release your hands. Releasing any prop from underneath your bottom, transitioning into a tabletop position. As you transition into your tabletop position, your hands are underneath your shoulders, knees are underneath your hips. Tops of the feet press firmly into the mat. Hollow out through your back here. So press into the mat with all 10 of your fingers. Activate through your index and thumb as you exhale to press away from the mat. Just begin by expanding through your back body. Crown of your head falls towards the mat. Gaze falls between your back legs. Just begin to stretch into your back body, hollowing out. Think of like a Halloween cat here. Maybe find some movement. Close down your eyes if that helps you to take a look and explore what the inside of your body needs this morning. So feel free to move around. Find what feels good here as you hollow out and just expand through your back body. Return through center. And as you inhale, drop the belly. Gaze lifts, crown lifts. Transitioning here into your cow. Beginning to arch through your spine, arch through your back here, create movement and fluidity through your spine. You might tick-tock front to back, side to side. Continue to breathe here. Notice what this is like to move your spine in the opposite direction. And whenever you feel ready, just begin to transition through some cat-cows here, moving with your breath. Exhaling to round through your back. Inhale as you lift. Connect to your breath, connect to your own sensations. Connect to your own movement here. Let your body, your breath be your guide. Gently making your way back through center, move into a neutral tabletop position. So in your neutral tabletop position here, establish your foundation again. So really claw through the fingertips. Press the tops of those feet into the mat. Draw your navel in towards your spine. From here, bring your toes to touch, lower your bottom onto your heels, walk your hands forward, take a break in child's pose. So while this is a passive posture, we're still active through our fingers, reaching forward, stretching through those armpits, forehead lowers to the mat, a block or your hand. If you're feeling like your arms need a bit of a rest this morning, draw the weight of your bum towards your heels. Feel the stretch, the gentle opening through your lower back body. So we'll begin to flow here from child's to cobra. So I'm just moving myself back a bit on my mat here so I have room. So from your child's pose here, your toes are touched, your bottom comes to rest on your heels, fingertips are actively pressing forward. Actively pressing into the mat, arms are reaching, stretching forward. And when you feel ready, on an inhale, activate through your palms. So press your palms and fingertips into the mat. Slide your body forward. Hands are shoulder width, palms press into the mat, chest expands forward and up. And on your exhale, touch your toes and come to sit again into child's. Exhale. Inhale to roll forward into your cobra. Legs are engaged. Pressing into the mat with the tops of your feet. Shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, cobra. Child's pose. So find your flow here. You may wish to take upward facing dog this morning. If so, your legs are very active, pressing into the mat with the tops of your feet and your hands. as you lift your body on an inhale. And on your exhale, toes come to touch, bottom comes to rest on your heels, child's pose. Move at your own pace, finding 3 more rounds. When you've completed, make your way back into child's pose. Walk those fingertips forward, rest your forehead on the mat. Just rock your head from side to side, allow for a gentle massage to your third eye point. Just stimulate that pituitary gland a little bit here. Reestablish that connection to your breath. Active into your fingers, press into your palms, lift yourself back up to your tabletop. Just really anchoring your awareness in the sound of your breath this morning. So from your tabletop position, press into your knees, press into the tops of your feet. Coming up onto your knees here, so your hips are stacked over top of your knees. So we're preparing for gate. So stepping your right foot out to the side, lining up your right foot so the arch of your right foot is lined up with the knee of your left leg. When you've set up here, again, walk those hands forward so you're now in a tabletop with your right foot out to the side. Moving through 3 rounds of cat-cow. So on an inhale, drop the belly, gaze lifts, crown lifts. Exhale as you press into the mat with all 10 of your finger pads. Round out through your back. Inhale to lift. Exhale to round. Inhale to lift. As you exhale, round out through your back. Return to a neutral back. Walk your hands towards your knees. Once again, coming up with your hands on your hips. Sending your arms out along the horizon. Float your arms, relax your shoulders. Drop your right arm down your right leg. Reach your left arm overhead. So just beginning to stretch here through your left side body. Active through your left fingertips. Digging into the mat with that left knee. Top of the left foot is anchored into the mat. Active in your right leg here. Think about digging into the knife edge of that right foot as you breathe into your left side body. One more inhale. Exhale as you return your arms to the horizon. Gaze falls out over your left fingertips. Taking a gate variation of warrior here. Pull your pinkies back. Activate through your core. You're always welcome to cushion underneath your knee if your knees are feeling sensitive. Drawing your hands down to your sides here, or to your hips if that allows you for a little extra balance. Draw your left knee in. Right leg comes out this time. So dig into the knife edge of that left foot. Think about that knee to arch alignment this time, rather than heel to arch. Walk your hands forward, coming into a tabletop variation of your gate here. And once again, 3 rounds of cat-cow with your left leg extended. Inhale, drop the belly, gaze lifts. Exhale to round. Inhale to lift. Exhale to round. One more time. Inhale to lift. And as you exhale, round. Return your back to neutral. Walk your hands to meet your knees and then up to your hips. Lift your arms along the horizon, float your shoulders here. So I like to do that kind of float because it relaxes your shoulders. It makes you think about pulling those shoulders down away from your ears. When you feel ready, drop your left arm down your left leg, reach your right fingertips overhead, beginning to bring that stretch into your right side body. Stretch through your right fingertips. Press into the mat with the top of your right foot. Really anchor your right side here. Feel that stretch radiating from your right knee all the way up the side of your body and out of your right fingertips. Breathing. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, return to neutral. Bring your arms along the horizon here. Activate through your core. Draw your navel towards your spine. Gaze falls out over your right fingertips. Draw your pinkies back. Allow for your hands to fall to your sides. Make your way into a neutral tabletop with your gaze coming towards the top of your mat. 3 rounds of cat-cow here. Claw into the mat with your fingertips. Listen to the sound of your voice, or the sound of your breath. At the end of your 3 rounds, return to a neutral tabletop again. Walk your knees back just a little bit, keeping your toes actively pressed into the mat, coming down onto your forearms. So pressing into the mat with your palms, again, stay active through all 10 of your finger pads. You're going to come up onto your knees if that's comfortable for you. Otherwise, come up onto your toes. Otherwise, stay on your knees. So coming into a forearm plank here. So tuck through your toes, come to lift and activate through your legs. Lift your legs up off the mat. Widen your stance a little bit as you roll your heels towards the back edge of your mat. Active into your legs. Think about a straight line from the top of your head to your pelvis. So we're trying not to collapse into our back here, really drawing energy up from the core. Think about drawing your navel, your belly button right through your back body. Breathe here. Broaden through your collarbones, holding here for 3, 2, on the 1, lower your knees to the mat, walk your legs out long, lower your tummy, staying on your forearms here. So setting up for Sphinx. So make any wiggles into the back of your lower bottom half of your body, So rolling your hips maybe from side to side. Really relax through the lower half of your body. Bring your elbows underneath your shoulders. Press into the mat with your palms. So again, we're always thinking about activating through those fingertips. Relieve any pressure off your wrists here. So that can be helpful here in your Sphinx. Tops of your feet are engaged into the mat. Elbows underneath your shoulders, hip creases and quads pressing into the earth. As you inhale, begin to activate through your lower back body. Maybe your gaze comes to forward, crown is lifted. Notice what this feels like in your lower back. If there's any pinching or discomfort, walk those elbows forward to relieve a bit of pressure off your lower back. Connect to your body here. Again, take that role of observer on the inside of your own body, your own experience within your practice today. Resist the urge to compare it to yesterday or any other day. Connect to your breath. If you know your body can handle more this morning, you have more space. Pivot your elbows here so that the palms of your hands come to the outside corners of your mat. Activate through your palms, activate through your fingertips, and begin to press into your palms as you lift up. Lift your elbows up, pressing into the mat with your pubic bone and your palms, tops of the feet. Press into the mat, lifting up into seal. Gaze stays forward, crown is lifted. Breathing into your back body here. you're up into seal, lower back down into Sphinx. Begin to send your elbows out to the side, create a little pillow with your head, and come to take a few breaths. With your right cheek resting on your hands, release any activation in your body. Maybe your toes come to spin towards one another, shoulders relax. Listen to the sound of your breath. Return to your Ujjayi breath if that was in your practice today and you've lost it. Return your palms to the mat. Line your fingertips up with your armpits. Activate through your feet. So from here, we're going to push ourselves up into a tabletop position. So make any adjustments needed for your knees to come underneath your hips. Hands come underneath your shoulders. Draw your navel in. Press into the mat with your fingertips and step your left foot forward to the front of the mat. So step in your left foot so your fingertips come to frame that left foot. So make any adjustments here in your low lunge. You might pick up that right foot, walk your right knee back, untuck or tuck through those right toes, whatever's comfortable for you. You might roll over that mat, give your right knee a little bit of extra padding here. Establish your foundation. Left knee is tracking over top of left ankle. Tent through your fingertips or bring in blocks for a little bit of extra height in your lunge. Begin to roll through your shoulders as you lift your torso up off your thigh. Gaze comes forward, crown begins to lift. Activate through your core. Think about pulling your right hip crease forward, your left hip crease pulls back, so you're squaring your hips to the front of the mat. Come to lift your fingertips up off the earth. Really sinking into your hips here. And on an inhale, reach your fingertips towards the sky, sinking into your low crescent lunge. Top of the foot is actively pressing into the mat. Activate through all four corners of that left foot, stabilizing here, connecting to your breath. Chest is lifted, long spine. As your hips sink towards the earth, notice if you're swaying. Really find those four corners of that left foot. Think about digging into the mat through the ball joint of your big toe, your little toe. Taking it a little bit slower this morning. Noticing the sensations that are showing up in your body. Inhale, stretch a little higher. As you exhale, bend through your arms. Come to frame that left foot. Pressing the base of your big toe into the mat, begin to straighten through your left leg. Walk your fingertips back. You might bring your blocks with you. Coming into a runner's lunge variation here. So peel your left toes up off the mat. Left heel remains on the mat. As you shift your hips back over top of your right knee, hips stay square to the front of the mat. It can be really helpful to have blocks here for a little extra height. Top of the right foot is pressed into the mat as you inhale, look forward. And as you exhale, begin to round. Forehead comes towards your left shin. Breathe, find space in the back of your left leg. Begin to roll forward. Left foot returns to the mat. So we're going to come into pyramid here. So pressing the base of the big toe on your left foot into the mat. Tuck your right toes, activate and charge up through your legs. So you're going to pick that right leg up off the mat. Keeping your hips squared to the front of the mat. We're going to walk our right foot forward just a little bit. So find what works good in your body today. As you pull your back hip forward, so you're pulling your right hip forward, think about pulling your left hip back. So again, blocks are helpful here. If you don't have them, that's okay. Tent through your fingertips. It can also be helpful to bring your hands to your hips. Really activate. Find those big toe joints, little toe joint here. Press into the mat. Square those hips to the front of the mat. Pull your shoulders back. Gaze to the ground. As you inhale, create a little bit of space in your back body and your spine. Find your balance. Notice what's needed here to create balance while at the same time softening. You might release your hands to the mat or to blocks here. As you lower your forehead towards your left shin, keeping those hips squared. Beginning to lift yourself back up through center. Begin to bend into that left knee. Send your right leg back a little bit. Curl through your right toes. Right leg stays charged. We'll take a moment here to transition into high lunge if that works for your body this morning. Otherwise, you're welcome to lower that back knee on an inhale. Reach your left fingertips towards the sky. Check in with your foundation. Notice that your left knee is tracking over your left ankle here, beaming through that right heel. Really active through your right leg. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, hands lower to the mat, frame that left foot. Lower your right knee to the mat, step your left leg back to meet your right, coming into tabletop position here again for 3 rounds of cat-cow. Inhale, drop the belly. As you exhale, claw through the fingertips as you round through your back. Inhale to lift. Exhale to round. One more time, inhale to lift. Rounding on the exhale. Return to neutral tabletop. Claw through your fingers, step your right foot through. Make any adjustments you need here. So you might roll up that mat, you might walk your left leg back a bit. Make sure that your right knee is tracking over top of your left ankle, or your right knee, is tracking over your right ankle. Begin to pull your chest up off your thigh, loop your shoulders. Pull your shoulders away from your ears. Come to lift a little higher, sinking a little deeper into your hips. Inhale, reach your fingertips up. Low crescent lunge, sinking into your hips here. Find what you need for balance. Find what you need to be able to breathe into this shape in your body, softening any parts of your body that aren't needed right now. Notice as you wiggle, as you establish that balance, you're stabilizing and creating strength in your body with every movement. As your body compensates to create balance. Inhale, reach your fingertips a little bit higher. And as you exhale, release your hands to the mat. Frame that right foot. Tense through your fingertips. You might also bring in blocks for a little bit of height here. As you begin to peel your right toes towards the sky, straighten through your right leg. Just coming into a runner's lunge variation here. So hips stay squared. I'm sorry for that background noise. Hips stay squared to the front of the mat. Toes come to reach towards the sky. Active through your right leg here. Tenting through your fingertips, your gaze is forward. Inhale. And as you exhale, begin to round through your back, neck, and shoulders. Forehead comes towards your right shin. Breathe into the back of your right leg. Rolling forward. Right foot comes back to the mat. Setting up for pyramid here. So activate through your right leg. Tuck your right toes. Charge up through your right leg. Your left leg. Shift your left leg in. So your legs are as though you're standing on skis. So they're on different planes. Both toes are facing forward, pressing the base of your right big toe into the mat. Legs are straight here. Legs are engaged, kneecaps are lifted, hips are squared. And again, pressing that front hip back as you pull your left hip forward, square your hips to the front of the mat. Inhale to look forward. And as you exhale, round and draw your forehead towards your right shin. Begin to gently bend into your right knee. Walk that left leg back a bit more here, setting up for high lunge. Of course, you're always welcome to lower that left knee. So lift your fingertips up off your blocks if you were using them. Inhale to reach your fingertips towards the sky as you sink into your hips here. Pull your shoulders away from your ears. Breathe into your high lunge. Again, taking note of what's happening in your body, all the tiny little movements that are happening in order for you to balance, in order for you to stabilize in your high lunge. Inhale, reach your fingertips a little bit higher. And as you exhale, allow for your hands to return to the mat, frame that right foot. Send your right leg back to meet your left, coming into your first downward facing dog. So pedal out through your legs here as you shift from one side to the other, drawing weight into the opposite heel as you bend into the opposite knee. Move into stillness in your downward facing dog. As you inhale, roll forward into your plank. So make any adjustments here to come into a comfortable plank. Digging into all 10 of your fingers, in particular your index and thumb. You might widen your feet a little bit here as you beam through your heels, rolling back onto your toes, broaden through your collarbones. Draw your navel in. Breathe here. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward into your plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward. And as you exhale, lower your body to the mat. Tuck your elbows into the side, untuck your toes. Line your fingertips in line with your armpits. Press into the mat with the tops of your feet, active through your legs here. As you inhale, peel your chest up. Pull your shoulders and triceps back, cobra. Bhujangasana, exhale to release. 2 more times. Inhale for cobra. Exhale to release. Inhale for cobra. And as you exhale, release, tuck through your toes, charge up through your legs, and return to downward facing dog either through tabletop or plank. Bend through your knees, walk your feet to meet your hands at the front of the mat. Feet are hip width distance apart. Inhale for your version of a halfway lift. Hands come to your shins or your thighs. Pull your shoulders back. Draw your navel in. Think of your body being in the shape of a 7 here. And as you exhale, hinge at the hips, bend at the knees, forward fold. Allow for a generous bend through your knees. Your torso comes to rest on your thighs. Hands can come to blocks, the mat, or you might grab onto opposite elbows. Allow for your head and neck to relax. You might sway from side to side or front to back. Maybe choose to shake your head yes, shake your head no. Just notice what this is like here, seeing the world from an opposite perspective. Allow for your brain to be nourished with oxygen, blood. Maybe you imagine that everything that's been troubling you is rolling off your back, cascading off of you like it's falling off of a waterfall. Return your hands to the mat. Inhale for a halfway lift, your version. Exhale, forward fold. Uttanasana. Keep a bend through your knees and begin to roll yourself up to stand. Stack each vertebrae on top of the other. Roll your shoulders last. Palms face forward, Tadasana. So while your legs are active, your kneecaps are lifted. Lift up your toes. So you're sending weight into the backs of your heels. Draw your palms to touch at heart center. Lift your sternum to meet your thumbs. Begin to send weight into your left foot. Bend into your right knee. Stabilize through your left foot and step your right leg back. So we're coming into warrior two here. So spin your right foot so the knife edge of your right foot lines up with the short edge of your mat. Bend into your left knee. Establish that heel to arch alignment. Left thigh is spinning open towards the sky. You're able to see the first two toes on your left foot. Open your arms up along the horizon. Pull your pinkies back. Gaze falls out over your left fingertips. Active into your right leg. Hip points and shoulder points face the long edge of your mat. Breathing here. Maybe sink a little deeper into your warrior two. Begin to straighten through your left leg. Spin your heel, spin on your heel so the knife edge of your right foot is lined up with the short edge of your mat. Spin your right heel towards the opposite end of your mat, probably the short edge of your mat here. So we're coming into warrior two on the opposite side. So your right toes are facing forward, your right heel is lining up with the arch of your left foot here. Open your arms up to the side, begin to bend into your right knee. Spin your right thigh open, relax your shoulders, pull your pinkies back. Gaze falls out over your right fingertips, breathing into your warrior two, opposite side here. Virabhadrasana 2. Strong. Begin to straighten through your right leg. Again, pivot on the heel of your right foot here. So line your toes up with the long edge of your mat. Spin your heels out a little bit so your toes are coming in just a tiny bit here, setting up for wide-legged forward fold. So your toes aren't quite pigeon, but they're in a little bit. As you inhale, place your hands on your hips, lift your chest. Draw your inner thighs up, charge up through your legs. And on an exhale, begin to hinge at the hips. Think forward fold, Uttanasana. Ardha Uttanasana, I should say. Keep a flat back. Keep your hands on your hips here. And when you're in a completely flat back position here, walk your hands to the mat, the ground or blocks for a little extra height. Notice what this feels like. Wide leg forward fold here. Digging into the knife edge of your right and your left leg. Your right foot activating through your legs. Walk your hands forward. Think of a wide leg forward fold tabletop variation. And on an inhale, drop the belly, gaze lifts, crown lifts very subtly here. Allow for a generous bend in your knees if you need, or bring the earth up to meet you by using blocks. Find what feels good here. It might just be hanging out in a forward fold. That's okay. If you can find a way to move through some cat-cow, spinal flexion here in your wide leg forward fold, you're welcome to do so. Or you can transition all the way to the earth in your wide leg forward fold, walking those hands underneath you. Crown of the head comes towards the earth. Relax through your shoulders. Active into your legs. Activate that parasympathetic nervous system. Slow down your sympathetic nervous system. Allow for your body to transition, rest, relax. Walk your hands forward. Again, think tabletop variation. Left hand comes to the center. And on an inhale, reach your right fingertips towards the sky, coming into a twist variation. Right fingertips reach towards the sky, or your right hand might come to your right hip. Opening your chest. Think about stacking your shoulders. Release your right hand to the mat. Put your right hand up. Replace your right hand with your left. Or sorry, opposite. Put your right hand where your left hand was. Inhale, reach your left fingertips towards the sky. Again, place your left hand on your left hip if that's more comfortable for you. Return your left hand, inhale, reach your right. One more time on the opposite side, right hand comes to the mat, left hand, inhale. Return through center, bringing your hands to your hips. Activate through your legs, lift yourself up. Roll yourself up as you activate through your core, activate through your back body. When you reach full center, heel toe your feet in. And make your way to the front of your mat, coming into Tadasana. Pull your shoulders away from your ears. Bend through your knees, inhale, fingertips go down to come up. Palms come to touch, exhale, forward fold. Place your hands on either side of your feet. Step your right leg back, lower your right knee to the mat. Untuck your right toes, bring your left hand to the inside of your left foot here, heel toe your left foot out. So your left foot is at a 45-degree angle, left toes face towards the front edge of the mat. Moving into lizard here. So take your own variation. You might just stay here on your palms, activating through your fingertips, releasing your shoulders from your ears. Maybe your gaze is forward, but more of an active lizard here. Maybe you choose to roll out to the outside of your left foot. You might walk that right leg back a little bit here. Your heart is open, your core is active. Maybe you're coming down onto your forearms. Maybe you're tucking through your right toes, charging up through your right leg, beaming that right heel back. Breathing into your lifted leg, breathing into your hip flexor, lengthening your psoas muscles. If your right leg is lifted, lower your right knee to the mat, coming up onto your palms. Bring your right hand to the center of the mat. Place your left hand on the inside of your left knee as you begin to twist towards the left. So you're twisting towards your bent knee. So you're welcome to stay here in your twist, or you might begin to pick that right foot up off the mat, bending through your right knee, and maybe you're reaching back to grab onto your toes today as you gently pull your left heel towards your bottom, opening through your heart, twisting a little more over to the left, breathing here. Release your right foot, returning through center. Heel toe that left foot in. Frame your left foot, activate through your right leg, tucking through your right toes, send your left leg back, downward facing dog. Bend through your knees, make your feet walk towards your hands. Inhale, halfway lift, your version. Exhale, forward fold. Place your hands on the outside of your feet here. This time, stepping that left leg back, lower your left knee to the mat. Bring your right hand to the inside of your right foot, heel toe your right foot out. Right foot is at a 45-degree angle, right toes face towards the top right corner of your mat. So lizard on this side here. So if you know where you're going, you're welcome to go there right now. But I would encourage you to take your time, just find what feels good as you transition to this side of your body. So you might roll out onto the outside of your right foot. Maybe you're coming down onto your forearms. And maybe you're tucking those left toes, activating that left leg. Wherever you are, active into your core, breathing into your lifted leg if your left leg is lifted. Breathing into your hip flexor, your psoas muscle. Whether you're on your palms or your forearms, just taking note of even weight distribution into both arms. Breathing into your hips. If your left leg is lifted, lower your left knee to the mat. Untuck your toes, coming up onto your palms if you're not there already. Bring your left hand into the center of the mat. Bringing your right hand to your right knee, beginning to twist over to the right. So maybe this time you're choosing to pick up that left foot, bending into your left knee. Maybe reaching back with your right arm, grabbing onto your right foot here as you draw your right heel towards you. Opening your chest. Twisting over to the right. Release your right or your left leg if you're holding on to it. Return your hands to the mat. Heel toe your right foot in through center. Frame that right foot. Tuck your left toes. Charge up through your left leg. Send your right leg back to meet your left, downward facing dog. Lower your knees to the mat. Walk your hands in to be underneath your shoulders. And just take a couple soupy circles to send your right hips to the right. Exhaling as your hips fall back onto your heels. Send your hips over to the left. So some circles with your hips here, just to release through your hips after your dragon. Find what feels good. Come up through center and just go the opposite direction. Return to tabletop, send your feet out to the side, come to sit on your bottom. going to lower down onto our backs here. So coming down onto your back, pull your knees in towards your chest. Release your lower back body to the mat. So think about having your back completely flat against the mat as you rock from side to side. A gentle massage into your back body. Roll through center. Release your feet. Coming to cross your right foot over your left. Figure 4. So you might stay here, begin to press your right hand into your right knee, opening up through your right hip just a bit here. If you know where you're going, you're welcome to go there. If you feel like you have room for a little more, maybe pick that left foot up off the mat, gently drawing your right knee open, maybe grabbing onto the back of your left leg, or bending completely through your left knee, reaching through and grabbing onto your left shin. Flex through your right foot to protect that right knee as you draw your left knee towards you. Relax your shoulders. If you're holding onto that left leg, release your lip grip now. Return your left foot to the mat. Uncross your right leg. Coming to the opposite side, crossing your left foot over top of your right knee. Take your time here. This is the opposite side of your body. So just rather than kind of forcing yourself into the posture, especially if you know where you're going, I encourage you just to slow down and just kind of enjoy the transition. Really discover where you're at today. So see what it feels like just to apply some pressure to that left knee. Maybe you're picking up that right foot, grabbing onto either the back of your right leg or reaching through and grabbing onto your right shin as you flex your left foot, protecting that left knee, drawing your right knee towards you, opening into the left hip. Relax through your shoulders. Breathe into your head. If you're holding onto your right leg, let go of it now. Return your right leg to the mat. Uncross your left leg. Heel toe your feet to the outside edges of the mat and draw your knees to touch at the center. So allow for a little bit of an opposite rotation for your hips here, placing your right hand on your stomach, your left hand on your heart. Pulling your knees apart, heel toe your feet towards one another, soles of feet come to touch. Release your knees to the earth. Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined butterfly. Pull your knees through center, keeping a bend through those knees. Draw your knees into your chest. Give yourself a hug. Releasing one leg and then the other. Allow for your heels to fall to the outside corner of your mat. Arms come to rest beside you. Palms flipped up towards the sky. Toes flap open. Pressing into the back of your head, pull your shoulders in. So draw your shoulder blades towards one another. And then release the weight of your body back towards the mat. Release any control of your breath. Allow yourself to transition from doing to being. Giving your body time to absorb all that you've just done. Allow for gentle wiggles between your fingers and toes. Rock your head from side to side. Coming to roll onto the right side of your body, take a few breaths in fetal position. Allow for your head to be supported by your extended right arm. Pressing into the mat with your left hand, bring yourself up through seated. Take your time coming into a comfortable Sukhasana or seated position here. Pick your shoulders up, draw them towards your ears on an inhale. And as you exhale, pull them down. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, pull your shoulders up towards your ears. Squeeze them in. Exhale to release. Inhale, draw your shoulders in. Exhale to release. Draw your palms to touch at heart center. Return to the intention you set at the beginning of your practice today. I hope you have a wonderful day. Drawing your thumbs to third eye. Namaste.